Welcome back to Red Hot Marriage. This is an honest conversation kind of podcast. We talk about marriage, healing, recovery, and what that looks like from a Christian perspective. Think of one couple who'd be better off having heard this. Send it to them. If this show has helped your marriage in any way, help us reach the couple who hasn't found it. That's redhotmarriage.co/support us. Okay, let's get into today's episode.
So we wanted to do an episode today about really what it's like raising kids, because I know we have a lot of friends that have young kids that they're still in the thick of it. They're trying to get their kids to, I know one of our friends is starting, their daughter is starting kindergarten. So we just told her today.
That's tough. Oh my god.
Get ready for the tears because they're going to come and it's going to be really hard.
Like we have an adult
Bree,
daughter.
Love you. We are praying for you because we know that's really, really hard to do. I remember the first time that we dropped off the kids in kinder and how I just wanted to stay with them.
Right.
I think Danny was excited, but then once she realized that she was staying there, she started to cry. And I love crying. And then Derek clung to your...
Derek would not want to go.
He would not let go of your legs.
Yeah.
He was like...
Or my neck.
Holding
and
on.
then I didn't want to leave him.
And then, exactly. So you almost took him.
Yeah.
So we had a big parent fail. But, you know, in all the parent fails that we've ever had, because we were going to have more, that just prepared us for what was to come eventually. We've had some really good successes too. And I think that we have raised two amazing kids that are our world, you know, and we're so proud of them, you know. So
100%.
We are so proud of the humans that they have grown up to be. And we always tell them, like, if there was one thing that we would need to change about you, and that it would be absolutely nothing, because it would then, you would stop being who you are.
Right.
So we like fully love them, fully embrace them. Like that's where we will land on
like
that
all
one.
the bumps and bruises that they had through our...
Just the hundreds of them.
Our not expert
Learning.
or expertise that we're lacking as parents.
We're still practicing.
Parents in practice.
Jesus.
To get them to the point where they can become like their own, like adults that are responsible for their life. Mm-hmm. They're doing exceptional.
They're amazing.
Derek
We're so
and Danny
proud of them.
are incredible.
And I think that's a question that comes up a lot too. Like, how do we raise kids that are good humans?
Yeah.
Because you see the media, you see all the stuff that is out there, you see all the things that your kids are going to face. And there's two types of parents I think that we see a lot. We see those are the helicopter ones, the ones that are like, I don't want anything to touch this baby. You know, just super protective, like they are like, it's hovering. It is too much. And then we see those that are just like, oh, well, let them make their own choices. If Susie wants to wear, you know, whatever, let her wear it. And, you know, Susie shows up in school just looking crazy. That's okay. Two different, you know, ways of parenting.
Yeah.
Which one's right? Which one's wrong? I don't know. Let's talk to Susie 20 years from now.
Right.
We'll find out, right?
Yeah.
But I think that some things that we did really well, and this is the part whenever people will ask us about our kids, like, hey, how did you raise, you know, your kids? Like, whatever. We're open to share more than anything our failures, where we failed, where we were... Maybe we should have done things differently, better, had better conversations. But then there were some real wins that they see the outcome. I think that one of the things that whenever people meet our kids, they're surprised that they were homeschooled, because
that is true.
That's something that they never expect from them.
I think one of the telltale signs is that not too long ago, Derek said, and Derek is here behind the cameras. He runs the whole thing here.
He's amazing.
But
Shout out to Derek.
But he was saying that his boss at his job, he was saying something that he was homeschooled, and he's been working there for a year. And she was like, I never knew you were homeschooled. I would have never known that you were homeschooled, because they have become like their own person. They know how to interact with other humans, and and do the things that they need to do, be productive, be smart, independent. All the things that they need to do to be adults.
True. Right. So, so I love that they are not your typical homeschoolers. I think that our approach in school was like, we want them to learn how to read, write, do math, do those things and everything, but also think for themselves.
Yeah.
And we place in just more emphasis on really trying for them to be good people, whole people that love God, but also people that are curious about learning. anything. And we'll brag on Derek because, he's here and he's watching the camera here. But one thing that he did when he was really young, and I remember this, he was 10 years old and he was obsessed with the Little Cake Boss. You remember? He was obsessed with that show. We would watch it all the time, right? And Danny's birthday was coming up. And this is just the kind of human that this guy is, okay? He wanted to get his sister the iPod Touch at the time. I don't remember what generation that was.
Like
it was in 2010, the newest, right? The newest one, right? We're not going to buy her a $300 iPod. Heck no. So he was like, I am going to sell cakes and I'm going to buy my sister an iPod.
For those of you out there that don't know what that is, it's kind of like your iPhone, but it was just for music.
That's it.
You could not make calls. It was just music. Like it was loaded with music, and then you plug it to your phone.
Buy the music,
and then you have to buy the music, and then you could scroll through all your albums, all the songs, all those different things. But that's what it was. Now you have that integrated into your phone. So just a small explanation for those out there. Those things were expensive.
They were. So, and we always try to make our kids earn their things. Like if you want something, you're going to save for it. Just a principle, right, that we had growing up. So Derek decides to launch this business called The Little Cake Boss. Yeah. And he had mugs made. He had his whole business cards too.
Maybe we'll get Derek to post a little picture.
It was so cute. It was called Derek's Cakes. Thank you, Derek. Totally forgot. Derek's Cakes. But we would call him the Little Cake Boss, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so he was obsessed with doing the Derek's Cakes. There's cute pictures of him doing that. And he was able to save up the money to buy his sister an iPod Touch. And then he bought himself an iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was able to make that much money, and people were just buying these cakes, beautiful cakes. So then we're somewhere. He leaves the iPad. Well, he actually got the iPad stolen when we went out to a restaurant. So he saved his money again, bought himself another iPad, and bought himself an Xbox 360 or something like that. So this kid was making money.
Yeah.
He got so good at doing that then the news, CBS 11, picked up his story. And they came and they interviewed him, and he was coined the Little Cake Boss. So he's on TV. He's brace-faced Derek, 10 years old, talking about his cakes and
killing
making the cakes, right, and all that.
Yeah.
So cool, right? So cool. So and that was born out of a place of generosity. So these are things and these are principles that you get to teach your kids right now. Like if you have a 3-year-old, if you have a 10-year-old, if you have what are some things as parents that you can do to help ingrain those character traits in them early on, right? And I'm not saying that, learn from us. No, we're just saying hey, these are some things that maybe you could do with your family that can help your child start developing those things that they can't teach you in school, but that you get to steward right at home. So that was really cool watching him, grow into this. And then what happened with him is that he started that business. Then when he was around 16, he, if you've heard some of our podcasts, we've been really open with our family and just some of the journeys that we've walked through. But then he started another business called Every Name, where he started selling necklaces that would say a word. And, if it was a word,
he would pray and ask the Lord to give him a word for that person, like the meaning of their name, whatever their name was. And then he would write a note, and whenever they would buy their necklace, and he would ship it, and they would have this note connected to the meaning of their name.
It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. And just using the gift that God has given him, even in the prophetic, of doing that for people. I remember some of the ladies that, had gone necklaces. I know that he had done them for some of our widows. Yeah. And they were so moved. And it was exactly what they were going through at the moment. So it's so cool how God would use a gift in him to touch other people.
But I think that also is looking at the different personalities. If you have different kids, multiple kids, I would say, every one of those kids is unique. They have a unique identity, a unique fingerprint of God in between. And us as parents, we get to learn who they are and kind of help them structure their uniqueness. Not because you have an older kid that is super gifted and talented that you want all your kids to be, that everyone's going to be different.
Carbon copy.
And that's what we saw between Derek and Danny. Derek, for example, in school, he could care less about school, about writing, about anything else. As a matter of fact, I would sit with him in math, and I was responsible for math. So I would break down a formula in math, and I would tell him, Derek, I need for you to show me the work. I need to see the work. And here's the way you do it. So I would break it down. And then I said, okay, now you do it. And Derek would look at the math problem, write a line, and just write the answer. I was like, no, I need to see the work to see. But that's the way his mind would think and navigate and create the solutions.
Like, why do I have to do that if I already know the answer? It's the right answer, Dad.
Very efficient in thinking. But Derek has always had this like entrepreneurial, turn to his life. Everything he thinks about a business opportunity.
He's incredibly creative too.
Yeah, and a lot of creativity. And Danny is completely the opposite. Danny is task oriented. Like if we would give her assignments, like he would have all her assignments done exactly the way the teacher asked, exactly the way Diana asked her to do them. The math problems exactly the way I asked her to do them. Very structured. I mean, she loved to read, loved school, loved learning, and it's interesting because Derek likes learning, but stuff that he wants to learn about.
True.
Right. And that's important to notice, right? So I think that us as parents, being with our kids, it's important for us to look into those things, the unique abilities, and then help them navigate and shape the direction that you see their character being molded.
True.
and their DNA that they were born with. And if we can do that, I think we can take some of those wins, right? Aside from like all the failures as a parent, it seems like whenever you're raising kids, all you can think about is where you're falling short. Yeah. I'm falling short here. I'm falling short. I'm not, I'm always tired. I cannot be here.
Working.
I'm always working. And you can never be completely satisfied with your life, like dealing with kids, because as an adult, you have all these things that you have to do, and it seems that you're always missing something.
True.
But as you continue to help your kids navigate and grow and mature, man, you're going to start taking some wins.
So true. I think that's something that you did really well, in raising our kids is started really speaking just confidence and identity into Danny. That was one area that, we used to be youth pastors for many years. So we would have, of course, a lot of the girls that would come to me and the guys that would come to you and came from broken homes. I come from a broken home too. So I didn't want for our daughter to grow up with just a sense of not feeling that she wasn't good enough, of just having that self-doubt and all that. And if Danny, she doesn't have an ounce of that. Yeah. And that's a good thing. She's always been very positive.
And even when she was
little, it's funny because we make fun of her and we say one of the times I think my sister or somebody in the family was saying, Danny, you are so beautiful. She was only 3. She was like, I know. I know. And she would always say that, right. Anytime that anyone would compliment her, but just her self-esteem had always been so high.
Right.
But one of the things that we did early on with her was when she started hitting pre-kinder, every Valentine's Day, you would go to the school and you would take her a gift. Since she was in pre-K, you would take her big teddy bear with her card and her chocolates. And it was...
Or a flower, a rose.
Or flowers or something. But you would always take her something, right? And I remember, do you remember it was in 2nd grade that you went to deliver a huge teddy bear to her classroom? So you want to share that story?
Yeah. So I did the same thing what Diana's saying. Like that Valentine's Day, I went and I had a big teddy bear. I think I had a rose that I was taking. And before the kids, I mean, there's a big gate. No one can go through until they tell you to, right? So I'm there holding that teddy bear and having that rose. And one of my friends from high school that we used to play football together, his son is in there. He says, Erik, why are you bringing this? I mean, they're only kids. I mean, and I said, you know what? Your son is gonna grow up right? Once they get to high school and they start knowing each other, and a whole bunch of other kids here. So whenever they do get to that point, they're gonna have a hard time getting to Danny, because she is gonna expect a lot more than what these guys can even come close to, right? So I was setting an expectation in her heart, but also more importantly, I was making that day super important for her in the right way. You know, coming from dad, that I loved her and poured over her for Valentine's Day, that she could have this moment as a little girl and have those special memories.
And I think that that's something that has stayed with her. And, you know, as she grew up a little bit more, we started getting her jewelry, and that was like the gift kind of, you know, changed a little bit.
Got more expensive.
It got more expensive too, but the expectation is there too, that she wasn't hungry for love, hungry like, please pick me.
Right.
It's never been about that. It has been about, okay, finding someone that is going to treasure her as the gift that she is, right?
Yeah.
And those are things that I think that dads have a unique ability to do that for their daughters.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like no one else
For
can,
sure,
you
yes,
know?
yes.
And that is something that if dads were to do something like this for their girls, my goodness, we would change the world. Just being present, showing up for these girls. So I think that that's something that really, really good that you did, and created that confident girl that Danny has now become, that woman. But, you know, now that she is 28 years old, we're like, all right, Lord, send her the one that would be for her. Okay, so she's beautiful, you know. Hit us up if there's a good bachelor out there that is just amazing. He'll go, of course, through dad, through mom, and then we can talk. But yeah, when we're raising kids, we're in the thick of it. We want the very best for them. We want to give them the world. But sometimes the world starts with just like really small things that we do with them. Checking in on them, being there, talking to them, having a safe space for them to share what they're really feeling.
I'd say that the more important things that you did as a mom, aside from all the things that you would do, the schooling, the shopping, all the things that go with just logistics of taking care of the kids, was creating this atmosphere of love for the kids that is unparalleled. Nothing can match that. That the kids could come to you and sit down with you and talk, and you would reach out to, like constant reaching out and making sure that their heart was good. And that right there established, I think, something in their heart that no matter what situation they're going through, even today, our kids, and I'm not bragging, if you ask them, they'll tell you this, they love to hang out with us.
They do.
They love to be around us. They love to be part of.
They love to go on vacation with us.
Yeah, whatever we're doing. And we have an incredible time together.
True.
I cannot tell you how many times we sat across the kitchen table and talked through with Derek and Danny and all of us together stuff that is difficult and challenging and beautiful and all the spectrum of life that you can talk about. But because that was nurtured and started from there were kids, littles, with you pouring your heart over them. And that is irreplaceable.
Thank you,
and
babe.
you cannot put a value on that, period.
And I think that's a part that as a parent, it's really challenging, because when you're trying to raise children, you're in the thick of like, man, I just really want to get this right.
Yeah.
And so much can get lost in parenting. And that relationship can be lost in like, well, you need to do your homework and you need to do this. But the most important thing is pastoring them as they are growing up, shepherding their heart, helping them.
That right there, yeah.
That part is like what we're called to do, is to shepherd and steward their heart. And I remember having difficult conversations, at times with both of them, mostly with Derek. but I remember even like him saying like, Mom, like I just feel disrespected. Oof. What? You're 10 now. Who cares, right?
Yeah, right.
But it was like, oh, okay. I don't want
Yeah.
to be hurting my son's heart.
Yeah.
But he could tell me that. And it was like, okay, I need to kind of like just circle back on what I'm saying here. How can I speak to him? And then,
Yeah.
and we had to have that mutual understanding that we could talk to each other in a way that was challenging each other to be better. To be better with one another. And even today, whenever there are disagreements, we don't always see eye to eye, in certain areas. And one thing that he knows to be true is that I will always go to bat for him, that I am his biggest defender, his biggest cheerleader, and I will love him no matter what.
Right.
No matter what. And I think that's the model that I think that God wants for us to have in our home. God is God. He can deal with the heart of our kid.
Oh my
because
gosh.
it's on him to
Oh
do
my
that.
gosh, honey. That's so
Our
profound.
heart,
Yes.
our place is to love them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period.
Period. Yeah.
Is to love them.
Yeah.
And we know, God's word says, train up a child in the way that they should go. And when they are old, they will not depart.
Yeah.
When they are old, that part, you don't know if old means 90 or old means 30.
Right.
We don't know that, right?
Yeah.
But we get to steward right now this season of their life the best way that we can.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way that we learned to do that was, of course, having them in church, having them in a community where they felt love, where they were able to grow in relationship to the Lord. And that has made the difference. Now, let's be honest, in that same community, you can also get hurt.
Right.
Right. And then as a parent, you come back to the table and say like, hey, let's walk through that. Let's talk through that. Let's talk through some stuff that maybe you've been told that is completely outside of what even God would want to be telling your heart at this moment. Right. So keeping that door of communication, that open communication with them, even as old as they are, because Derek is 25, Danny is 28 now. It's so important for us. It's critical.
Yeah. The one thing that comes to mind when you talk about that is moments that our kids would say like the dumbest thing that would come out of their mouth, right? Especially when they started getting into their teen years, social media came around, they started getting these crazy ideas. And I think for me, I had a harder time with this because I would not give space to their thoughts. Like I would, because of my upbringing and us being pastors, being in church, I didn't do it. This is one of my losses, by the way. I would come down hard on them. Mm-hmm. Why are you thinking this way? That's not a good idea, a good thought. But I saw it in you completely different, that you welcomed their thoughts with an open heart, and not, you were never agreeing with those things. They were not what we believed, but you let space fall on those thoughts so they could come out, and you would influence those thoughts in a different way, and with heart, with love, with prayer, with additional conversations. And for me, it was like, no, this is the way. This is the way. But later, thank God, I learned how to do it well. But in those upbringing, those starter years were very tough on me because I didn't know how to do that. But you, man, the Lord gave you the wisdom and the grace to be able to do that. And it was magical to see. It was beautiful to see.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I think that I would show up like that, but then I would go to the room and just cry. To be honest,
I think I saw that.
You saw that. You saw that a lot. I think that's something I was sharing. I can't remember, this past week I was having a conversation with a friend, and we were talking. Oh, I remember. It was my friend Sule. We were talking about how we love our kids, and and how, like, as a mom, you are so connected to these children that grew inside of you, that something just deeply connects you right to them, and how you grieve. Like, this is the one area, and this is all for the mamas, that the enemy will try to take you out by taking out your kid.
Wow.
This is it. And you have to know when the enemy wants to take you out, he will use your kid to do it, because that's a place that hurts the most. That's a place
like a
that
piece of
will
your
bring
heart.
you
Yeah.
to your knees.
Yeah.
And not dissing the dads. Not, I'm sure dads love their kids. I'm sure they
We
play
do.
part
Yeah.
and all of that. But something about you being connected to your son, your daughter, it's something mysterious, supernatural, just incredible that God has done in a mom's heart.
Yeah.
But at the same time too, I think that the Lord has given us a very specific discernment to know when to intercede for them, as they're growing up, as they're going through things, right?
And I would tell the moms, like, if you feel, I've seen you also like even share with me, like, I feel this is happening with Derek, this is happening with Danny, and even when they were kids, I would tell moms, lean into that.
Yeah.
Don't just
Don't
keep it in
ignore
your
it.
heart. Like, if you feel that, voice it. Take your son, your daughter, they're 2 years old, 3 years, 5, 15, whatever the ages are, and probe, ask questions, be curious, and that is gonna implant something in their mind that they're not far from the hand of God. And they're never far from the love that you have for those kids.
Yeah. Well, I remember
Never.
one of my prayers with them growing up is like, Lord, expose anything in their life that would draw them away from you. And boy, right? And just there's so many stories where it was a moment, not, and it wasn't because God would say like, haha, you're gonna get caught. No, it was like, this is time for me to start praying. I need to start praying for them. This is what I need to do. This is the part that belongs to me, to pray for them, to intercede. And I can't tell you how many times I know going into, our children's room and just laying in their bed and praying for them, praying the hell out of whatever situation they were confronting. And those are going to come. Those situations are going to be hard,
Right.
and they're going to be heavy, and they're going to feel like your world is like collapsing right in itself. But that's at the moment that you have to hold on to the Lord and continue to believe him for their salvation, for their healing, for, a sound mind, for whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? And I think that that's something that God has given the unique ability to parents to steward this area in
Privilege.
their family. And what a privilege to be able to stand
Beautiful.
in the gap for our children as they're growing up.
There's no higher honor for a man than to be a father. And you cannot be a father unless you're married to a wonderful, beautiful wife. And I'll say, if you're a father, you have the unique responsibility and honor to be able to lead, but also to take care of those kids, to be there for them, to be a presence in their life, to be a presence in the home. If you can do that, the Lord is gonna empower you and create an atmosphere that is safe, that is nurturing, and those kids are gonna continue to flourish because guess what? They have a home where that's invited, and the environment is prime for that.
Yeah. So I want to speak into the hearts of single mamas, because
Yeah.
that is the soft place in our heart for the single moms. We worked a lot with the single parent ministry, in our church, and to see those mamas show up day after day, night after night, and be both, play both roles, in a kid's life. That is a hero. That is a hero. And I think that, Mama, if you are single and you're trying to do this on your own, know that you have the perfect husband now in Jesus. He will never betray you. He will never let you down. And you can call onto him, and you can hold on to his promises, and you can be confident that if you partner with him, he is going to give you the wisdom to be able to father your children, but also at the same time love and father you as you're doing this, because it is a hard job to do. So mad respect for all the single mamas that are doing this alone. But the thing is that if you just partner with the Lord, he is going to help you. And also, come around healthy marriages. Don't be afraid to ask other people around you for help. Like, if there is a grandpa out there that is great, help them Reach out to them, let them know like, hey, I need help with my son. I need help with my daughter. Get into counsel, talk to people that will help you also continuing to parent, your children, because what you're doing is remarkable, but what you're doing is also incredibly challenging.
Yeah.
We know we're two and it was like, man, there's days that are just hard, but keep going. You can do this. Yeah. You can do this. Okay. But that's something that we know that it's a challenge and it can be challenging. So anyways, those are things that we thought we wanted to just, talk about today, because there's so many people that are in the thick of raising a family, trying to figure out, are we doing this right? Nothing, or what are we doing? And when we look back at where we're at now, it's so wonderful, not needing to take diapers with us anywhere, not needing to worry about all those things. But I think the success that we've had is that our kids like us. We're this old, they're this old, right? And they like us, and we genuinely love each other.
And they open their heart to us.
They do.
I think that's why they enjoy being with us, because they're able to open their heart, and there is love, there is space to make errors, there's space to feel, to be human, and to get wisdom, to just have a conversation that is open. That right there is a major win.
And it's not at all like this episode's not about bragging. It's really simply like, what are the things that we've done right, and what are the things that maybe we could have done better? That will hopefully help somebody that is in the thick of it. So I hope that it helps somebody out there that is needing this.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because I wish we would have had that. I wish that I would have had somebody that would have sat with us and just in the middle of all of that and just told us like, hey, breathe.
You're going to be
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
But when you're in it, you can't even see to the other side. Yeah. But we'll tell you all the things that we did right and wrong too. Mostly the wrong stuff, so you'll avoid that. Yeah. Because that's our heart, to be able to help somebody out there. So, baby, I love you.
Love you.
I'm proud of the daddy that you are.
Proud of you, Mila.
So we'll keep building this red hot marriage.
Red hot marriage.